What's up guys, Kaiju here again with another video, and in this video I'll be comparing the Fantech XD3v2 compared to the OG Zowie S2. This is the updated Zowie S2-C because of this thing. Okay, so this is mostly going to be a shape comparison. I won't go that deep into the specs or the technologies behind it, but yeah, I'll just go over it quickly. So this is the Fantech XD3v2. This costs around like 2,500 pesos, which is around $50 SRP here in the Philippines. But I think in other countries it can go up to like 60 to 70 US dollars. This thing costs like around 4,000 pesos, or around $80 SRP excluding shipping. Okay, and then this uses a 3370 sensor, this uses a 3360 sensor, but to be honest, I actually can't feel. No, to be honest, I was surprised when I moved this around. It felt so smooth. Like, I don't know if it's the sensor or what it is, because both of these I'm using at a 1000 hertz polling rate, right, and high performance mode and everything. And I don't know what it is. Like, when I started moving with this thing, like, the POV was just so smoother. Like, I noticed it. I thought I was going crazy. So like, I plugged this out and I used my other mice, my G305, my Orochis, and my other mice, and I was like, this thing, there's something smooth. I don't know if it's Zhao's implementation or whatever, or it's the 3360 sensor. I don't know what it is, or maybe it's just a copy, or maybe I'm just going crazy, but it feels a lot smoother. Not a lot, but I really noticed the difference. Like, I don't know if there's some DPI deviations with my other mice or this thing, but I don't know, when I moved it around, like, it was a lot smoother. I was like blown away. And yeah, I've tested like other premium mice before, but this felt different. So I don't know, maybe I mean, I can't test it against a Vaxi mouse because I don't have a Vaxi mouse anymore. I can't test it side by side, but I don't know, maybe I'm just going crazy. I'm just gonna put it out there. But in actual use, is it like game breaking? Nah, I still kind of prefer this because I prefer the shape, but I'll get to that later. So yeah, 3360, 3070. Then I think this is using like Kale 8.0s. Yeah, this is using Kale 8.0s, and I think this is using Huanos. It doesn't say on the website. I can't find it on the website, but knowing Zowie, they're probably using Huanos. Um, Stock mouse feet, I prefer this. I really hated the stock mouse feet of this of the XD3v2. It's one of the kind of like game breakers for me. Like, I really like mouse feet. Yeah, I'm kind of meticulous about it. And then for the coding, here's the thing. Like, for the coding, this feels pretty premium in my opinion. Like, it felt very premium. This is pretty old now, so it's shining a bit. But when it was brand new, damn, it felt premium. I was surprised by how premium it felt. And then, but the thing is, there's just a different feeling when I felt this. Like, this thing, like, I thought this felt premium already, and this thing felt different. The coating and everything, just the vibe of it, just feels performance and premium. I don't know if I'm just going crazy or there's like a bias. Oh, it's Dowie, like I'm a CS:GO pro or whatever. But I don't know. Uh, the premium feeling is just different. It just feels different. But that's not to say that this doesn't feel premium. This thing is very premium. Premium feeling in my opinion. Like, the coating, I really like the coating. Actually, the coating for this one feels a bit grippier than this. When my hands are dry, I can still more or less grip this mouse, but this thing, nah, I kind of gotta wet it a bit, moisten it a bit for me to be able to grip it properly. Okay, and in build quality, both of these are feel like tanks. Yeah, like really no creaking and everything. For this one, like, if I press it really really hard, there's a bit of side flex, and I managed to activate the side buttons when I really press it hard. But that's really very unrealistic. You're not gonna do that IRL or in game. So yeah, build quality, they're both very good. In terms of premium feeling, they're both pretty premium, but this takes it. In clicks, both feel great, both feel snappy. It's really just preference. They're both great. However, I do feel that these are snappier because, which would be natural because it's separated from the shell. As compared to this, it's like one shell, so naturally it's going to be less snappy. I'm just saying less relative to this, but I'm not saying this is sluggish or mushy by any means. It's still very snappy. Like even if I click up here, yeah. So really, like everything is pretty good. Side buttons, I think most people will prefer these side buttons because they feel more tactile, and I think they're using real switches here. I don't know what Fantech is using here, but I mean they're fine for me. I like them, but I'm not really that big of a side button guy, so it other people might be off because these feel kind of dull for some people, and these feel a bit snappier and more tactile. Scroll wheel, weirdly enough, I prefer this. I prefer this. This is noisy, but I don't mind because I like I like the Vaxi scroll wheels as well. But this feel different. Like the Vaxi scroll wheels, even though they're noisy, they feel like smooth. But this one, it feels weird. It's like those wind-up toys that's how it sounds and feels. That's why I don't like whenever I'm scrolling with it. It is easier to spam though than this. This is a bit hard to spam. But yeah, those are just minor things. Anyways, for the shape, which is like the main purpose of this video. So obviously this is an S2 clone, so it's pretty much the same, but there is some slight differences. And if you're more of a casual user, casual gamer, or you're not really a mouse addict, or you don't really, test even the smallest differences, I don't think you're gonna notice it. Because when I got this at first, I was like, "What's the difference?" And then after a while, I was feeling it more, and yeah, I did start to notice the difference. So overall, how I can describe it is this this S2 shape is the more fine-tuned shape, right? This shape, even though they're the same, it kind of has those like rough edges, and this is like the more fine-tuned. They ironed out the kinks, they rounded the things. Like the icing on the cake is better and all that. Yeah, it's just really a more fine-tuned shape, in my opinion. So, so what I mean by that is because this feels bulkier, and especially on this part, it's kind of like clunky or bulky at this part, but here it's way smoother. It's narrower, and it's more friendly. This one is more in your hand. Like even the front is a bit bulkier. And when I try to close or regular claw this, this part is going against this part, like I mentioned in my previous videos. But with this S2-C, it doesn't do that. Like I can really engulf my hand with it. I can do whatever claw grip I want to do. So that's why I say it's more fine tuned. The button height also feels lower here with the S2-C. Yeah, even without the grips, I tested it also without the grips. The button height here feels lower. The front is narrower, and the hump is also lower profile. It's like less prominent. Here, when you hold this, it's like this part of the hump is really like pushing into my palm. Whereas this, it's not really pushing into my palm. I would say there's like more range of motion, or it's just more comfortable. Yeah, that's what I wanna. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like this is like the final version of the shape. Like they ironed out all the kinks. They made the safer. They made the shape friendlier, more accommodating. It's sexier. It's kind of slimmer. It's more fine tuned. This is kind of like the bigger, bulkier brother. Uh, but however, I do prefer this because the hump here I have a hard time because I knuckle claw. So I really need the hump to hit here, and it's too low with the S2. That's why I still prefer the shape. Also, because of how I grip the mouse, I need the width of this one. I feel like I have to be more aggressive whenever I hold this, and I have to hold it more. Like, I gotta hold it firmer to get a better grip because of the slightly smaller size. So it kind of fatigues my arm more, my hand more, and it's not like the optimal shape for me. But I think for most people that if I would traditional claw, I think this would be a better shape. But since I knuckle claw, I prefer this one. Uh, yeah, so I think that's pretty much all I can say. This is just a more fine-tuned shape. It's a safer shape. They ironed out the kinks and the rough edges. You can grip this. There's like more variety on how you can grip this. With this one, you kind of have to look for a grip that fits it, especially because of this part. It really hits this part, so kind of have a hard time engulfing it in your hand. And the hump is a bit prominent, and it's not even the very back part. It's like kind of the top-ish part here that's really hitting your palm. As compared to this, it's a bit more. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to tell the difference with that much. Hold on. How This is why I hate wires. Yeah, whatever. The hump is just higher. Like this center point is higher. It's also like kind of like more pointy, like more pyramidal like that. This one is like more flat like that and rounded. And when it goes into your palm, it's really comfortable. As compared to this, it's a bit like blocky feeling. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much of a difference that I can talk about because yeah, this is an S2 clone, and yeah, which one do I think is more worth it? Well, I mean, if you're really out there, like you want the best performing and whatever, I don't know, maybe you can go with this. But I don't know. For me, it's like I'm completely fine and happy with this mouse because, first of all, it's a lot cheaper. It's wireless. It's more readily available. The only problem with this mouse for me was the stock feet and the weight. It was too heavy. It's like 83 to 85 grams. This one is like around 70 grams or something. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys got any questions, just comment down below. Like, comment, sub. Peace.